Where do you want to be at the end of 2024 that you are not today? The time is going to go by anyway. The actions that you put in throughout the year is what actually matters. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, and if this is your first time here, hello, welcome. This is Essential Patience and I am Patience. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how to prepare for the new year. So it is going to be 2024 soon. It is not too late to start off the year on a good foot. And so I'm going to just give you a few things that can help you make sure that 2024 starts out well, and hopefully you keep the momentum to round it up in a good way. I know that every year we make New Year's resolutions, and this is not exactly a New Year's resolution. I'll be posting another video on that soon. This video is about how to prepare for the new year, or how to start the new year by getting yourself together. A lot of times we write the goals that we want and we don't always follow up on accomplishing them. But also there are things that we just don't do to make sure that we do start off on the right foot that would help us achieve our goals easier. So hopefully this video is going to close the gap into making sure that maybe you didn't accomplish certain things. However, it is not too late to start off the year 2024 on a good foot. But before we do, as always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and let's get into the ways that we can prep for the year 2024. Honestly, can you believe it's 2024 already? So one of the first things you want to start off with is decluttering. It's a new year. It's time for new things. So if it's already the end of the year or the beginning of the new year, declutter. Let go of certain things that don't bring you joy anymore, that you have outgrown. And I'm not talking about sentimental things that you want to keep to remember people, but sometimes things just need to be let go. I'm talking about clothes, books sometimes. I know I have such a hard time decluttering my books, making sure that you let go of things that you no longer use. If you didn't use in the past year, if you didn't use the past 2-3 years, the likelihood of you using it in the future is probably very slim. And sometimes when that future comes, you may not even want it. You may want something new. So don't be afraid to let go of things that no longer serve you. You want new things to come into your life in this new year. New people, new energies, money, success. Sometimes the things that we have around us is holding us back. Whether it's a bad memory, thing that we have unhealthy emotional attachment to, it's probably time to let it go. I'm not saying rush and clear out everything in your apartment, become a minimalist. I know nowadays minimalism is no longer in for some people and they're becoming a maximalist. I am personally still a minimalist, and that's how I want to live my life for several different reasons, but this is not the video for it. I have a video on minimalism and I'll probably do another one talking more personally about it. This new year, it might be time to let certain things go that no longer serves you, so that you can open your heart, open your mind, and open up your space to things that would serve you better in this new year and into the future. Things may not be there or created to last forever. Some things are just to serve you for a season or for a reason, just like friends. You know, some friends are there for a season and a reason. Some are there forever. They're things that are supposed to be with us forever, but others are not. So if it is time to close that chapter and let things go, do not be afraid to make that happen. If it no longer serves you, let it go. The next thing is to organize your environment before or early into this new year. I remember when I was younger, I apparently had to do all of our laundry because you're not supposed to take dirty laundry into the new year. I don't know how true it is, but I get the sentiments of it all. Let's start off the new year with a clean house, with a clean apartment, with a clean environment, and let that represent the life that you want to live in the new year. So clean up and organize. If you want to do that in the new year, don't wait till you're already months into it to start implementing. Why don't you start now? Why don't you create the time now to clean up and to organize? I love to keep a nice organized apartment. If it's time to move on to new year, I still do some extra cleaning to start off in an extra clean sense. Go into that new year with a nice fresh slate, and it sets the tone for the year. If you go into the new year with a cluttered apartment, dirtiness, unclean things, even though you may make New Year's resolutions to change that, you're not already putting the action now to set a precedence for the new year. Why don't you start taking those actions today instead of waiting way into the new year to get that going? If you want to have a cleaner apartment, if you want to keep a cleaner, more organized life, start it right now. Maybe after watching this video, go ahead and do a deep clean. Let that set the steps that you'll be following into the next year. So keep it clean and organized, and you will see a lot of things in your life really start to be clean and organized as well. If I'm in a cluttered environment, if I'm in a dirty, unorganized apartment, it's gonna be hard for me to function. When my space is clean, it gives me a sense of peace that I need to really face the other things that are more urgent and the things that I really need to prioritize. But in this new year, make sure to prioritize as well being clean and organized. Going into the new year, make a budget. If you haven't done so already, try to do so because it sets a precedence as to what the new year is going to look like. If you want to make sure that you are spending wisely in the new year, if you have financial goals and set yourself up for financial success, make a budget. I make a yearly budget and then into monthly budget only because I don't know how things will change. For example, my lease will be over next August. I may look for a new place. I may live here. So even though I have a year budget of like what I want to spend on my housing, I also cater to the changes in my life. But set a standard now. What do you want your financial life to look like in 2024? Write it down, make a budget, and start preparing yourself to live according to it. A budget isn't supposed to be stressful. A budget isn't supposed to be something that overly restricts you. There is sacrifices involved. Overall, it's supposed to give you a clarity and to take away financial anxiety. When I have a budget and when I'm living according to my budget, I don't have financial anxiety. Why? Because I know I'm living below my needs. I am not outspending my budget. It also gives me a way of making sure that I'm taking care of myself now, in the future, and most importantly, retirement. So making sure that you make a budget now that covers all of those bases, and you will see yourself gliding into 2024 on a better path to financial success. The next one is to review your goals from 2023. How many of those did you accomplish? How many of those do you want to continue into 2024? Maybe you didn't accomplish everything. It's okay. Sometimes we write these New Year's goals, we don't even look at them for the rest of the year. And that's so sad. I make it a habit of going through it time after time. Am I working towards this? What was my state of mind when I wrote this? And why? What is the emotion behind it? What is the moral behind it? Can I accomplish it this year? There's some things that I didn't accomplish early this year that I was rushing to complete in December because I knew I could get it done. It's always good to reflect, see what you wanted to do, what you could have done better, and what you actually accomplished, and to celebrate what you accomplished. Goals are made not just to be achieved, but also to be celebrated when you accomplish them. And I'm so glad that I accomplished so many things. Sometimes I don't even realize how much I've accomplished until I go back and I look at what my goals were. I lived according to a lot of goals that I wanted to accomplish in this year. It's not perfect. I didn't accomplish 100% of my goals. I never have. I don't remember any single year where I accomplished every single goal, but I accomplished a lot of them and I'm grateful for it. So look over your goals and see what you were dreaming and where you were dreaming that at the end of 2023 you would be, and reflect on it and celebrate what you did accomplish. But the next is to let that reflection be a guiding force into the next year and ask yourself, why did I have these goals? How did I accomplish them? Why did I accomplish them, or why did I fail to accomplish it? And really reflect on the habits that led you to success or failure. Failure is not a bad thing. It's experience for us to learn from. So when you sit down to reflect on these goals, don't be hard on yourself. Hopefully you accomplished a lot of things. Hopefully the things that you did not accomplish, hopefully you started on them. But ask yourself, what could I have done better to have received even better results at the end of 2023? What can I do in 2024 to make sure that by the end of the year, I would have accomplished that goal? Maybe you didn't know how to manage your time, but now you know how to do it better. Maybe it was the fact that you didn't even look over your goals for months at a time, and then by the time you picked it up, it was already too late. Ask yourself, am I on this path? Reflection is a good thing. How well did I actually do? And you are the only person who can be honest with yourself. I can't grade you on how well you did because I have no stake in it. But since you do, and that is something that was important enough for you to make it a goal, assess it and find a path towards better success for 2024, because the year is going to go by. Just as this year went by fast, where do you want to be at the end of 2024 that you are not today? The time is going to go by anyway. The actions that you put in throughout the year is what actually matters and what will set you up for where you will end up by the end of the year. The next thing is to finish up on any goals that you quickly can. Sometimes some goals don't take a long time. So if it's something that you can still accomplish immediately, do so. It doesn't matter whether you did it at the very end of the year or at the very beginning of the next year. If you're able to accomplish it, do it. It's not like a lot of things just have a hard deadline. There are things that, of course, you can't extend it into the next year. But if it's something that you can accomplish at the moment, do so. If, let's say, for example, you wanted to apply for a passport in 2023 and then you did not do that. It's almost the end of the year, it's the beginning of the new year. Why don't you immediately print out an application, go get your passport photos, and then today you can apply for that passport, or you can at least an appointment to be on the path to do so. Maybe you wanted to start applying for scholarships. Maybe create a folder right now and start researching. There's so many things that we can get started on, or we can even accomplish in a short period of time. Just because it was a year's goal doesn't mean it actually needed to take a year for the most part. So start on the things that you can right now, so that you put yourself on a path where you are actually working towards your goals, and that would help you in the goals that you are setting for 2024 as well. And the next thing is to make some new Year's resolutions, so some new goals for the year 2024. It is always good to have goals for the new year, especially once you become an adult and your life doesn't move in a more traditional path as it did when you're younger. An example of that would be, you know that at the end of next year, you're going to go from elementary school to junior high school, and then you're going to go to high school, and then you're going to go to college, maybe grad school. But right after that, your life is really in your hands, and it only goes as much as you want it to go. Where it leads is different from everybody else's. We all start out very similar, but then we branch out into many different paths. If you don't make those goals, you'll be living the same life over and over again, and you'll be asking yourself, why am I not progressing? Why are other people progressing and I'm not? It's because other people have goals. They've researched the path they want to go on. Ask yourself, where do I want my life to go? What goals do I have? Career goals, personal life goals, your hobbies? Do you want to start a side hustle? The year I started this YouTube channel, I had a New Year's goal to start this channel, and I did it. This year, one of the biggest things I wanted to start was grad school. I'm already 6 credits in and I have 24 more to go. So just getting started with those. Where do you want your life to be? If I did not make that goal, I didn't have to go to grad school. What would happen if I didn't go to grad school? Nothing. My job didn't force me. Family didn't force me, friends didn't force me. Nobody's gonna do anything to me if I didn't start grad school. But I know that's something I want to do. I want to have a master's degree. I want to learn more. I want to expand my knowledge beyond what I even doing currently. I have a career path I want to go towards in the future. And if you don't know, start researching now. Try new things. It doesn't have to mean that you have to have everything figured out. When I started, I didn't even know what I was really going to major in. I thought I was going to double down on electrical engineering, and I didn't do it because I thought, what am I going to use it for? And I wanted to do supply chain management. And then I looked at the people who were in positions that I probably think I want to be in the future. And I said a lot of people not just had master's degrees, but engineering management was a really popular one. I talked to a lot of them. What did you learn? And I saw the path towards an MBA using the exact same degree. And I got the information that I needed to make a good career decision for myself. And I'm really happy I chose engineering management because I'm already learning so much. Classes that I've taken already, all about lifelong learning. Make some goals for the new year. Try something new. Maybe it can be a goal of even cooking every single meal. It's a New Year's goal. Don't diminish it just because it's not something grand. The day-to-day things that really affect us and really make a difference in our lives. One of my New Year's goals, of course, is to read the Bible every single day. And honestly, it's a goal I have every single year. I don't always accomplish it. Oh my God, have I ever accomplished it? Probably not. But it will never stop being a goal because it's something that I'm always working towards. Financial success. It was a big goal of mine for 2023. I bought my car and I've made some great financial strides. It's the day-to-day. Don't be afraid to make those small goals. They can be really life-changing. And as you make these goals, make the plan. We already talked about reflecting and finding different things that you can do to make sure they achieve the goals. Start writing them down. What are your plans? So for example, with me in grad school, my plan is to take courses, 2 to 3 per year, until I graduate. Maybe more, maybe less. The pace doesn't scare me because I also want to live a life. While I'm in grad school, life doesn't stop. But also my goals with this channel, as I am really busy with work and school, I want to also prioritize this channel and find a way to bring you good quality content and content that you want to see as well, but not completely lose myself. And sometimes it's really hard when I have to balance everything in my life and still make time to post at least 2 videos a week, but I always try to plan to make sure that I'm able to fit in filming, editing, planning. I think people underestimate how much goes into a channel, but it's something I enjoy doing. But if I don't take care, I know if I don't plan it and really put it into my schedule, I would prioritize everything above it. And that's what happens with a lot of our goals. Life gets busy. Still plan how you are going to be able to be consistent with it. And when you're able to be consistent with it and keep a balance, because life is hard and life is not fair. You're not always going to be able to completely balance everything. But there are some steps that you can still do to really help you set a foundation to a success of whatever goal you have. So for example, when I'm filming, I don't just film 1 video a day because I don't always film every single weekend. So I at least try to film minimum 2 videos in a day when I have time. And then during the time I'm not filming, I'm planning. At night, when I come back from work, done with some schoolwork, I take maybe 30 minutes to plan some videos, write out some ideas, a script, something that would keep me moving to make sure that I am prepared for when filming day comes. But it's really important that you know that when you don't plan, it puts you in a situation where you're less likely to succeed. One of my favorite quotes is, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And we don't always think about it that way, but maybe we should. Which moves on to my next point of evaluate your long-term goals and make sure that you're still working towards it now. Maybe you want to buy a house one day, and that could be a long-term goal of, let's say, a year, 2, 3, 4. Typically long-term goals are like 3+ years. So what are you doing today to put yourself in a position to have a down payment to buy a house in the next 3 to 5 years? Well, you can start by saying, for the year 2024, I'm going to pay off every single debt that I have. This lowers your debt to income ratio, but it also gives you more money within your budget to put towards a down payment on a house. So maybe 2024 is just for paying off all of your debts. And let's say in 2025, now you want to start building an emergency fund, a 6-month emergency fund. Going into a house is very expensive, things break, and you'll be responsible for it. You want to start towards the end of 2025, saving for a down payment on a house. Use the entirety of 2026 to continue your down payment. Maybe 2027, get 20% down, and then 2028, buy a house. That may seem like so long into the future, but that time is gonna come. If you're privileged enough to live that long, it's gonna come. Will you be prepared for it? Or are you gonna keep procrastinating? Well, there's nothing wrong with having 4 or 5 year plans. And that's something else I do with my career. One of the reasons why I'm getting a master's degree now is that while it doesn't extremely benefit me as an associate engineer to have a master's degree, well, beyond the learning, of course, there's a lot of knowledge that comes with it. Long term, in the future, with all the experience that I'm gaining, as well as the educational knowledge and the skills that I'm building, there is hopefully opportunities that I can take advantage of in the future. Not this year, not next year, maybe not a year after, but hopefully in the future, it will make me a competitive candidate for an even better position. And that's what we need to really start doing in this new year, thinking long term. So if you don't have any long-term goals, make some. Ask yourself, what can I do on a day-to-day basis now so that 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, even 10 years from now, I will be put in a better position. I think about it all the time. I'm like, whoa, 10 years I'll be 33 years old. Where do you want to be? And last but absolutely not the least is to pray, relax, and put in the work. Not in that order, in whatever order fits you, but I'll say definitely put the prayer first. Pray over your goals. I definitely do that. I like to reflect on the goals. And a lot of my goals are morally backed. What I want to accomplish is the full purpose that God has in my life. So I pray about it. I try to relax in between because sometimes life can get very, very heavy. This past semester was tough. It was really tough. Times where I was working like 50-hour work weeks, and then I had like a project due the next week and exams to do. Very challenging. But even then, I try to sometimes remind myself to relax, which is hard to do when you're only sleeping 5 hours a day. It's temporary. Put in the work. It's worth it. I really think about how we live our life. Some people say work to live, live to work. But at the end of the day, do you just want to sit home and do nothing? It sounds appealing, but as human beings, there's an innate feeling in us or an innate want to accomplish things. And so you need to ask yourself, how am I going to do that? And don't let laziness get the best of you. Put in that work. It can be work at your job so you can get a promotion, work at school so you can get good grades and graduate top of your class. It can be a side hustle that pays nothing, but it brings fulfillment, and in the future, hopefully, it'll bring in something. Either way, Put in the work. If you find that it's worth it to you and it's gonna bring fulfillment in your life, do it. Don't procrastinate. And I'm sure if it's God's purpose for your life, you will accomplish it. So thank you all so much for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Also ring the notification bell so that you will not miss out anytime I post a video. I'm typically posting twice a week. Leave in the comment section, what are you going to do? How are you preparing for the New Year's? If this video helped you, share with somebody that you definitely think this is gonna help. So thank you all so much again, and I'll see you in the next one.